Hi everybody, and welcome to exercise 2 on page 7 of the workbook here. And in this problem they're giving us a function, f of x equals x squared plus 2x, and asking us to find and simplify an expression for the average rate of change of f on the interval from 3 to 3 plus h. Okay, so I want to remind you first of all that an average rate of change graphically is about finding a slope. We had a formula for it that looked like, I'm going to just write it down at the top of the page, f of b minus f of a over b minus a. And the a and the b were just the endpoints of our interval. So in this particular case, you can think of the 3 as being the a and the 3 plus h as being the b. We're just trying to find the slope between those 2 points. Okay, so if we write down our formula, it's going to look like f of b, which is 3 plus h, minus f of a, which is f of 3, over b minus a, that's going to be 3 plus h minus 3. Okay, there's our starting point. Notice that we really just used this formula with the a and the b that we were given. Okay, and let's see what happens if we calculate this. I'm going to first notice that in the denominator, those 3's cancel. Okay. And now the rest of the problem is we need to sort of remember how function notation works. All right, so let's clear a little bit of clutter out of the way here. All right, and we'll start with the calculation of f of 3 plus h. Okay, so 3 plus h is our input. So that means that we're thinking of 3 plus h as our x value. Okay, so we're going to substitute that into our formula for x, meaning that everywhere that you see an x, we're going to put a 3 plus h. So we will have a 3 plus h squared plus a 2 times a 3 plus h. Notice what we did. We just took every x in our formula and replaced it with a 3 plus h. That's what f of 3 plus h means. Okay, and then we come to f of 3. And so this time 3 is the x that we're plugging in. And so everywhere that you see an x, you're going to put a 3 to calculate f of 3. So we'll get 3 squared plus 2 times 3, okay, over h. Okay, and just a word about kind of parentheses here. Don't forget, we need that set of parentheses. We're subtracting the entire quantity f of 3. All right, and now it's up to us to simplify that as best as we can. Okay, so starting with the 3 plus h squared, that's 3 plus h times itself. Okay, I'm just going to write that down. And then we have 2 times 3 plus h. If we distribute the 2 through, we're going to get 6 plus 2h. Okay, and then we come to this piece. So we've got 3 squared plus 2 times 3. If you add those up in parentheses, you're going to get, let's see, what is that? 9 plus 6, that's going to be 15. All right, so we'll subtract 15 on the end. Okay, and looking a little bit better, next thing we might do is to notice we're taking 3 plus h times itself. We can FOIL those two things. So that's going to be 3 times 3 is 9. And then the two outside terms, we've got a 3 times an h. That's going to be a 3h. And the two inside terms, that's h times 3 again. And then the two last terms, we're going to take h times itself and get h squared. Okay, lots of stuff going on in the numerator there. Okay, well, let's see. Do you see any like terms? Okay, any nice things that happen here? Well, one thing I notice is that we've got a 9 plus a 6. That's a 15. And then we've got a minus 15 over here. Those three numbers just cancel out. Okay, so if we rewrite this, okay, we've got it down to that. 3h plus h squared plus 2h. Do you notice any like terms that we could put together? 3h, and 2h. We could add all of those together and just get, let's see, 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. 8h plus h squared over h. Okay, this is looking better and better now. Okay, is there anything else we could do to simplify this? Well, notice that in the numerator, we can factor out an h. If you pull an h out of the first term, you get an 8 left over, and then an h in the second one. And then finally, because we've got an h in the top and the bottom, we can cancel it. So we have managed to reduce this difference quotient all the way down to 8 plus h. There's our simplified average rate of change.